Hello everyone! Oops, I need to adjust the camera a little bit. Welcome to another episode of MTG Arena Run. Today, it's midweek magic. We're going to be doing a Phantom Bot Draft, and this is actually a Phantom Bot Draft for an older format. This is for Strixhaven. They don't seem to detail what what the archetypes are. That's something that hopefully you've learned the last time. My personal inkling is that as much as possible, I want to get into white X. Black is quite good. Lorehold Command and Fort is it's interesting. It is a removal spell. It can come with a creature, but would I rather have Lorehold Command or would I rather have because I have Lash of Malice for a cheap removal spell. I have Mage Hunter's Onslaught for a very good late for a universal removal spell. Expel is very conditional, but it's somewhat fine. I'm willing to take a risk on this one. Red tends to be underdrafted because it's not that great, but doesn't mean it's bad. It does have some amount of removal, and I am actually seeing a few like this one. I could play as a mono white card, so it's not that bad. I think I'm willing to take a risk on this one. Worst case, I splash it, and hopefully that we didn't pass too much in white or black. Speaking of which, go blank. It's fine as a tempo play. Introduction to Annihilation. If you're going to learn lesson, this is one of the better cards to take. Like speaking of which, there is a learn here, but not much in the way. We're not incentivized to go into learn quite early. We are kind of more incentivized to go into a Pilgrim of the Ages. This one allows us to fix our later land drops, and we can get Pilgrim of the Ages back much later. Just remember that this is kind of our top end in spirits if we're going into this. Not much else actually, so I'm willing to give this one a shot. This normally would be the payoff for Red White Spirits. It's just way too expensive. I believe they actually dropped the cost on this one. They actually dropped the cost of this one. Otherwise, Leech Fanatic, it's fine. Spiteful Squad, not so much. Rite of Extus is a late game learn spell, but it is an option. Elemental Summoning, something we could kind of do. Going to red for that one. If we're going Hall Monitor is if we really want to go into the aggro plan. This is not too bad. Make Your Mark is also one of the other payoffs for this one. We could just take the Hall Monitor first, though I really don't want to go into white red, but it looks like it's trying to signal that white red is open. I'll take the Hall Monitor for now. Also, I hope you're not hearing the music outside because there is construction work going out there. Can't really control that. Lorehold Apprentice. Yeah, this is probably one of the worst payoffs. We could take an Owlin Shield Mage. This one's very annoying to deal with, so this is actually probably fine as a top end. As for learn, we got Cram Session. We'll take a Shield Mage because we're not too invested in red yet, so I could easily just drop it. I could also just easily take an Environmental Sciences and go and start with that one. Like what am I giving up here? Not much really. There's a Stonebound Mentor. One or more cards leave your graveyard. Doesn't happen that often. It's not the worst thing to do though. We could take the Sudden Breakthrough for the Combat Trick plus Treasure Token. But a 3-mana 3/3 is fine. Also, there is... Well, this one's more for drawing cards. Expanded Anatomy is not so bad either. Okay, Enthusiastic Study. This one is a good This one's good for learning. Claim the Firstborn is fine. Silver Quill Campus can help us with our splash. Introduction to Annihilation is fine-ish. I think I will take the Enthusiastic Study for now. We kind of want to have at least a few learn cards. Would I rather have a Twin Scroll Shaman or a another Stonebound Mentor? I'm willing to take a risk on this one, though. Though do note that there is a lot of cheap removal for this, so we have to be very efficient here. Then again, the removal's even cheaper for a 1/2, so I am more likely to take this one. We probably will now take the Lorehold Campus for this reason here. We've already established that splash. All of a sudden, the sudden breakthroughs go up in value. There is a Prismari Pledge Mage. This one is a thing for the Prismari deck. We are kind of split in our creatures, non-creatures, though I do want to shelve that one a bit. Yeah, I guess we can take on Sudden Breakthrough, because this would become double red in our deck right now. I'm not too convinced which one is going to be the main color here. Definitely don't want to take the Aegis Guardian. Infuriate is fine as a combat trick, but then again, if you have Infuriate, you also have Make Your Mark. This is okay, +1/+0, but you do end up with a 3/2 token, so you still end up with an extra creature. That might be fine. Do I want a Cram Session? It is technically black. Probably not. Don't really want any of these. I think I will take the Cram Session on speculation, but I'm probably not going to run it. Beaming Defiance is more likely to be run. There is a Trilling Discovery. Gain 2 life, then you may... So you gain 2 life no matter what. But then you can discard 2 to draw 3. I think we'll take the Beaming Defiance for now. Spell Satchel, probably not going to run it. Dragon's Approach, probably not going to run that. Hey, got a Time Warp. We can't exactly run this. There is a Flame Scroll Celebrant. Whenever an opponent activates an ability, so not great. Revel in Silence, the other half, also not great. We might have to just take a Pigment Storm. This is one of the few remove. This is on the more expensive end of removal, but it's still removal. Yeah, it's a shame we're passing the Time Warp. We're also probably going to pass a Grape Shot for the same reason. But what... Actually, let's do a check on our spells. Yeah, we're not really going to be storming this one quite a lot. At most, it's like a 2 mana deal 1, maybe 2 damage. Might rather just have another Enthusiastic Study, but in reality, what I want are creatures. So we probably will take the Star Pupil here. Yeah, that's actually one of the hallmarks of the White X deck. We need to get more of these creatures. I think we will probably take the Detention Vortex as some. There is also Shock. Detention Vortex is not that great, so we probably will just take the Shock here. We'll also probably take the Strict Proctor for that reason. Like, none of our... Like, we have 1 ETB. And that's fine. Strict Proctor is... There are a lot of ETB creatures here. This one wrecks it. Heated Debate, that gives us an incentive to go into red. The removal is now coming in. We still need more creatures, though. Stonerise Spirit is fine. Probably might want just another... Star Pupil is probably fine. Tome Shredder... Yeah, Tome Shredder is a meh. I might... Target creature gains flying is an incentive, though... Probably just... Yeah, I think we do take another... We do take the Stonerise Spirit. We're going to have a lot of Stonebound Mentors here. There is a Reduce to Memory. This does give us a removal that we can bin on the side. Actually, we're going to start putting some of the Learn cards on the side here. Lesson cards, I mean, sorry. There is a Blood Age General. It does give us a cheap creature. There is a Lorehold Campus. We could use a second one. It's not... There's a Divine Gambit that's meh. Yeah, we want to kind of go more aggro here. I'm going to pass on the Lorehold Campus, take the Blood Age General. Because looks like the creatures are going to be harder and harder to come by. Yeah, we're not going to reconstruct. I think Letter of Acceptance. We'll take take an enthusiastic study. Probably not going to run it that. Well, we're going to get. Well, we'll take the Detention Vortex now that it's wheeled. We'll take another Blood Age General here. So we are main red, just by a little bit. One Tome Shredder is fine. And now we need to see if we... Well, this is a good... Well, this is an incentive to splash. Shale is quite fine. Actually, Combat Professor is probably the best white card here. So that might be a better option. Yeah, we'll take the Combat Professor here. It's the much better option here. There is a Shock of Confidence. There is another Pigment Storm. As far as our removal is concerned, it's a bit on the light side. We could take a study break. Actually, there's also an Eager First Year. This is probably a good payoff as well. Let's do a removal set check. We got a Shock. Make Your Marks kind of a meh. So it's really Shock, Heated Debate, Detention Vortex, Pigment Storms, and a Lorehold Command. So 5 pieces of removal. I think we can try to start taking more creatures here. There's an Explosive Welcome, which is way too expensive. The Heated Debate is the more realistic one. We're going to take that. Also of note that we only have 2 actual lessons here. Environmental Sciences, which we can use to... Actually, the Owl and Shield Mage plans probably gotta go. We don't have any really good incentive to run this one, so we can put that off to the side. First day of class does allow us to learn, so that is a plan. Inkling Summoning gives us an extra lesson, which kind of works as well. Also note that we have 1 Enthusiastic Study. Let's see, what are our other learn cards? It's really just Enthusiastic Study, so we might actually want to take either the first day of class or yet another Enthusiastic Study. The Sudden Breakthrough kind of drops in value now since we're not aiming to splash anymore. I might actually just take the Inkling Summoning here in this case, and we can move the Enthusiastic Study up. There's another Infuriate. Fuming Effigy is a bit expensive. Guiding Voice is the better learned card here. There's also Field Trip, which is nice. Let's see. Oh, Humiliate. This is a very good... That's a good one. Probably have to take another... Defend the Campus is also removal, and so we probably will take that. But now we need to start taking creatures. We probably could take the Spirit Summoning here as an additional learn lesson target. Illustrious Historian is probably also good here. But now we need to start making some more serious cuts here. Campus Guide. No, there's another Eager First Year. We're kind of eager to take it. Take Trill on Speculation. Show Confidence might fit here now. We might have to also take an Archway Commons here to add to our mana fixing. But yeah, I think we've kind of streamlined the deck a bit. Whether now if we streamlined it the correct way or not remains to be seen. We are playing... We got the white part in White X, but is it good enough? That's the question. So we need to make some adjusted cuts here. And first things. So let's see. Lorehold Campus, Archway Commons. So sanity check, we have Inkling Summoning, Environmental Sciences, Reduced to Memory. So three lessons we can go for, which that's fine. So our learn spells, Guiding Voice, first day of class, that's two enthusiastic studies. We're probably going to cut one of them, so we can go down to 3. Okay, so that's fine. So now we need to do a sanity check on our creatures. We got 15 and 13, so we actually want to cut some of our spells. Despite having a lot of eager first years, we actually do want to cut some spells here. Detention Vortex can kind of go, despite, because we're looking for instants and sorceries now. Well, we got 10 instants, so okay, let's do a check on our sorceries. I believe they are the Pigment Storm, which we have to keep, and the Guiding Voice. Okay, so we're going to be cutting instants here. So let's see. Beaming Defiance or Show of Confidence. This one gives us a more permanent buff, but how realistic is it that we're going to get more out of this than, like, for example, if I wanted to get 2 shots at this, I would have to cast like a shock. It would be turn 3, cast a shock or Guiding Voice. Okay, that's a plan. Turn 4, probably the first day of class. That's also a bit of a plan. Also, we might want to streamline our colors. We might actually go red X here, so we're going to cut some of the white instead. That would mean the Star Pupil can go, the Beaming Defiance can go. Make Your Mark is fine because it's hybrid. Strict Proctor is fine. Stonerise Spirit can go because we don't have any leave the graveyard payoffs here. Defend the Campus, it's a bit expensive. First day of classes, this one's a little bit awkward, but we do have a lot of cheap 2 mana cards, so I guess we can go for it. And this one triggers on creatures, so if we went Lorehold Command somehow, that works. I guess I'm just gonna cut the Tome Shredder here. So, but that's a 12-11, which I am very nervous of doing. I think I would rather just keep the Tome Shredder and probably cut nothing. I'm just gonna leave it as I'm gonna take a risk at this one. It's midweek Magic. It's a we can kind of go for it. We don't have any real bombs per se, so this deck will either win quickly or lose quickly. That's how it goes. Or actually, it's either win quickly, lose quickly, or lose the long game. Anyway, so we will get a Hall Monitor turn 1, turn 2 Archway Commons to fix our mana. So we can start our aggro a little bit. We can then just lead on a few Blood Age Generals to get the ball rolling. Opponent excavates a wall. I'm actually gonna pay for this. The reason I'm doing that is so I can get turn 3 Stonebound Mentor and see if we can draw anything cheap off that. Well, there's a heated debate. This deals 4 damage. This one mills a card, so it's self-mill. Also note that this is an instant, so I could... But I also want to see if our opponent has any... Also, it's sad that this costs mana to make a creature can't block. It's cheap, but... Actually, no, for the effect, 2 mana is still quite expensive. 3 is probably the best case, but it might be too powerful. So I probably would have also adjusted the mana again there. We kind of went an even split. As far as double pips are concerned, we have it's double red, not double white. Opponents check Opponent's not here, which is strange. Well, actually, this is a payoff, but it's a very weak one. Opponent actually on the 3-color plan. Elite Spellbinder. So what will we might lose the heated debate because that's a removal spell. But what we can do instead is we can we could also just play. If we draw another land, we can play. Well, we did draw another land, so we can Blood Age General into Blood Age General. The next turn we can Hall Monitor, like lock down the Elite Spellbinder, then we can start swinging. Then we could start swinging this with this one. Opponent might also just have. When a permanent you control dies this turn. Ooh, lots of removal. That's annoying. So they did spend a lot. They did use up quite a bit of their removal. Our creatures are kind of throwaway in this case. Now I am concerned that this might be yet another removal spell, so I'm gonna swing first. Let's see how our opponent responds. They clearly have something. Because they might just go for. Well, they know we have a show of confidence, so we're gonna let the hit land, and yes, end the turn here. Yeah, this is actually not going well for us. We had all our early aggression just removed quite quickly. Yeah, Devouring Tendrils is quite solid removal. You may return another permanent, so no dice on that. We'll sacrifice the Hall Monitor, which is fine. Now I could Enthusiastic Study now, but I'm probably gonna wait. Yep, hit another land. So we're probably gonna learn for an Inkling Summoning, and we might as well. Now our opponent could have hard removal here, but at least we got our damage in. If they spend removal here, flunk, we probably just yeah, we'll probably just do the heat. We'll probably just go heat. No, we might actually just do Inkling Summoning. Opponent has no reason not to swing. Yeah, you see, that's a lot of removal. Then we're gonna hold up the shock in case they have more Devouring Tendrils or similar effects. We really want to save the heated debate for when they have a larger threat. Unfortunately, we're going to be taking quite a lot per turn here, so not very ideal. Heated debate at least is ideal enough in that it has, well, there are a few creatures that make it hard for heated debate to answer. Spiteful Squad. One is just going to swing with those two. I'm going to just mute the Elite Spellbinder. Take the hit. Yeah, we're probably gonna lose this one. And opponent still has one more card. So I kind of actually want to hold the Inkling back now. Actually, I could swing with this. And I might actually bring the Stonebound Spirit back because that is a leave the graveyard strat. Ooh. Campus to help dig. Oh, wow. Them rares. Probably just gonna play the wall. Yeah, we'll leave. Probably just take that hit. You can play the Eager first here, but that means we're... At least we're kind of... Yep, there's the Almond Shield Mage. Opponent did... I think opponent making good use of that splash, if I may say so myself. And unfortunately... we have to keep taking this because until we can hit save on the Pigment Storm, which is probably not happening, we can probably just pop this, go down to 3. Like I could swing with these. I can swing with these two. Just chump block with this. No, because I expect this. Nope, we're not swinging with either. Because I'm probably gonna just block with the Eager first here. Yeah, this is a very bad situation for us. Well, nothing to show for. All of a sudden, maybe we should have gone for white-black. The Inkling Summoning is still and reduced to memory. We will get the card out of it, but that means we lose we're gonna lose the flyer. So there is no. So in that case, I'm gonna just block with it now because we're going to lose the flyer next turn anyway. Now we just need to see if we will exile, put the 1/1. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Yeah. And how many rares did our opponent play? 1, 2. Well, two rares. Well, to be fair, we had the option to take rares also. We didn't quite. We took one. No, in hindsight, I think the better play was to actually just go into black at that point. So we're probably gonna have to live with our mistakes for the rest of this episode. Let's hope it's not too bad. Otherwise, it might really, really be bad. Not in a good way. Yeah, so... Yeah, I think I am actually going to put the Stonerise Spirit back. We do have payoffs after all. I will run the Strict Proctor first because this... Because this messes up our opponents the most. It will force them to have removal right away. It also messes us up slightly there, but that's not too bad. Yeah, because our opponent didn't spend the mana anyway, so it didn't really matter in that case. So next turn, yeah, we will put the Stonerise Spirit back. We actually do have payoffs. From the Forbidden, draw a card. Actually gonna go for the Fuming Effigy first. Then next turn we could do Enthusiastic Study. If we draw another mana, we might do Enthusiastic Study. Most likely our opponent's gonna try to go for removal here. And what? Oh, opponent they were playing blue-black, but this looks like a case of them they missed their mana colors. Like they might be sitting on a lot of double black and just didn't draw it. So, but we are gonna make some adjustments right away. First off, Stone Ray Spirit comes back. It's the only way we're removing cards from the graveyard, and we do have payoffs. Reconstruct History. This also is a way to get cards to leave the yard. So this also works. It's just that we don't really have room for it. We also don't have room for that as well. We could cut one creature. Most likely the Tome Shredder, because that gives us a 15-13 split. So 9, yeah, 10-9. I guess that's fine. So okay, so the Archway Commons hurts. It slows us down quite a lot, but it does mean we are able to run these out. Is our opponent gonna just shock us here? They're clearly holding up a shock. I might actually just play a Expressive Iteration. Hey, remember? Hey, this finally got the Banhammer in Legacy. And back in Standard, it didn't break that much, but it's still a very good card. Okay, so yeah, we'll run the Stonebound Mentor first. Preferably hit another mana so we can do, like, say, first day of class into another creature. Did not. So this shrink. Now the weakness of this is that we are kind of forced to take this one out. Otherwise, because blue-red is well known for having lots of expensive spells. So if we can delay that somehow, we're at a good pace here. So we'll do first day. I think I just play an Eager first year. Maybe our opponent counters it. I'm actually fine if they do. Reject. Yep. Let's see, do they have removal? Do they have removal? So saves 1 point of damage. That's fine. That's fine. So next turn we can Guiding Voice for probably Inkling Summoning. If I don't have a reason to go for removal, I won't go for removal. Trill of Possibility. Opponents actually trying to draw it. They did pitch an Arcane Subtraction of all things, I suppose. Okay, and we did hit our 5th land. So this one waits. You're gonna go for this one first. See if our opponent has even more counters waiting. They do not. Though I also realized that I might have made a mistake in that play sequence here. Anyway, let's swing first. Because our opponent just demonstrated that they have reject, and usually these tend to come in multiples. If our opponent's just going to do that, we can actually just go Blood Age General and invest a little bit here. Let's grab the Inkling Summoning now, get us another creature. And get us a counter on that. Yeah, no, we also want to get another creature. Opponent goes for the Elemental Summoning. We kind of have to use our very expensive removal there. Hopefully we won't need any more. So next turn we can go for Enthusiastic Study, but we have one more card, only one more card left to learn. But we can go Enthusiastic Study, either cast the Reduce to Memory, or we can cast the Inkling Summoning. Claim the Firstborn. Do they have a sacrifice effect? That's usually in black. We'll take 5. Yeah, got Stonebound Mentor again. So we're going to cast this first, see if they have a response to this. Nope. Then we're going to actually just go Blood Age. Swing with the Blood Age General, see if they have a response to that. Arcane Subtraction for learning. I can do this to learn back, but that's kind of minimal. I'm more willing to just go cast the Inkling Summoning instead. Yeah, let's start putting some more pressure. Opponent goes Grinning Ingus, which is not great in this particular format. So I am gonna swing with all. I want to see if our opponent does a double block, we end up clearing the board anyway. If our opponent goes for some sort of combat trick, we'll see if it's Sudden Breakthrough. It's gonna get first strike, so yeah. So this doesn't matter. It's still gonna die. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we're holding on to the Reduce to Memory, so if our opponent goes for something big, we can remove instead. Now, Grinning Ingus can be used to... We'll probably remove that. They are down to one more card, though. So let's see if they have a way to protect this. Because our plan is basically just to ride the Inkling. They do have one more card though. No, they let it go. Also, we need to put a stop on our upkeep. Oh, sorry, that's the opponent's upkeep. We need to put a stop on our upkeep. And opponent concedes. They never mind that. They did not have the... Oh, the reason we were putting the stop on the upkeep is for the Lorehold Campus. We need to stop drawing lands at that point, so we will keep activating it. We were the ones pressuring our opponent anyway, so that was kind of good. No. Let's see what we... Yoda. Oh, sorry, Joda. Is it Joda or Yoda? Beats me. Also, it is actually getting quite Actually, it's getting quite dark despite being 3 in the afternoon. It's actually probably gonna rain later. So definitely turn 2 Proctor, turn 3 Stonebound Mentor. So that is the one advantage we have. We have a relative. We will get a relatively aggro curve most of the time. So then, ideally, turn 4 it. Let's see, Prismari. That's fine. Ooh, we got combat. So if our opponent goes swinging with the Pledge Mage, I'm kind of fine with this. Prismari Apprentice. Okay. Now we could mess our opponent up by taking this out. I could also swing with this one just to trade right away. I'm kind of willing to wait. Because if this gets tapped, this goes in for, well, not quite free. Opponent goes Mentor's Guidance, so drawing quite a few cards. No, yeah, they draw 2 cards, so that is actually pretty solid. They are now incentivized to swing with these. So we take 5, then we hit back for 6. Play Blood Age General, hold down, make your mark. Hopefully we hit another land. Instead, our opponent has to go conservative. I'm actually gonna go for this one. No, they might have their own make your mark. I'm actually gonna just go first. So if they decide to do make your mark, we can. In this case, we're actually just gonna let it go. Because we have a board of 3 creatures, they only have 1. Bepatan eh. Opponent plays another Pledge Mage. Whoopie-doo. In which case, now is a good time to go. Now is a good time to go on heated debate. Oh, they had an Urza's Rage. Well, so much for combat, Prof. But we can still swing. I'm actually going to offer the trade here. Though it's not looking good for us, well, another Pledge Mage, so someone's going into the Pledge Mage deck. Now we can just start scrying end of turn, so we're just gonna swing with the Strict Proctor. And this is only attacking spirits, so make your mark is gonna have to be the one to do the combat boost here. And really curating. Although our opponent doing the curate at the end of their turn means that they probably have a really bomb rare that they're digging to. Something to keep in mind. Well, not quite a bomb rare. And also no lessons as well. Did no one learn their lesson in Strixhaven to draft at least a few lessons? So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna scry first, see what my options are. Shock. So probably just take the hit. So we draw the shock. Quandrix Pledge Mage. So this one's going for counters. Now what I could have done is actually make your mark on the Quandrix Pledge Mage first, then shock it. So I will now have a 2/2 and a 3/2, which, yeah, it's a super roundabout way of dealing with the Pledge Mage. I'd rather just take the. Ooh, we're gonna take a lot of damage here. I think we might just have to take it. Yeah, and that. So make your mark show of confidence. That's actually a plan. But not if we attack. So opponent did have a few lessons, just not So we're also gonna now see how they sequence blocks. They did have a shock. So let's see if they have a follow-up to this. Actually, we might have. Well, it's still traded with both, so we still end up with a 3/2 spirit in the end of this. Opponent does have a serpentine curve though. We're not going to debate our way out of that. So we're holding that back as a blocker. Unfortunately, that means we need to dig for our. We need to dig for a learn card so we can get restored. But yeah, this one would be a solid one. Thankfully, opponent is flooding. Yeah, we're pretty much chump blocking until we can find the solution, but it's not really looking good for us. And we just bin 2 mountains in a row. Well, considering our opponent has like 10 of their lands out already, it's probably their time. Killer Drop Warden, we're not sniping that anytime soon. We did hit the guiding voice. So this is a super roundabout way to do it, but we end up going down to 1. And I think our opponent can easily, yeah, sacrifice to get shock, and we just lose right then and there. So that did not pan out very well. We had to survive. If you are gonna go into the Prismari plan, you really have to hit all those pledge mages. That's pretty much what keeps you in the game. This one probably will be our last match, whether we win or lose. So hopefully we do win. So I can bury my. Well, definitely keeping this. I will go eager first year first. Heated debate, kind of a waste, so I'm gonna off, so I might actually do the show confidence instead. Opponent goes for a spirit summoning. Bit unfortunate that I don't want to use my removal here, so we're gonna play Illustrious Historian. If our opponent swings, we will chump, but it looks like our opponent has the mono white plan all along. Let's see if they have no pumps. So we'll end the turn there, because we could do, this does not have a. That was fast. And looking at this, I suspect our opponent was also playing white red, but they had all the red cards. In the end, sometimes you just get got by your mana. Though it really begs the question: why would you keep such a hand in the first place? Anyway, we do finally get our 3 wins, but it does show that Strixhaven is not just a format that you can draft willy-nilly. You do have to really pay attention here. And thank goodness it's a Phantom Draft, because I'm going to be doing the next one for reals, and hopefully I don't make the same mistakes. That's going to be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care. Man, it really is getting dark.